Hi, I'm Trevor Harbolt, PDJ number 26860, and this is my In the Bag for 2022. We'll start with putters, my putting putters. I putt with the Signature Steadies, super consistent discs. I like to straddle putt, so when I come through and I pop them up the flat, they just go super straight, hit the center of the pole and stay in the basket. They're probably the best putters I've ever putted with in my entire career of 30 years. I'll probably always have these in my bag. I also have a Steady BL for throwing putters, super straight, got a little bit of fade at the end. It's perfect for, 150 to 200 foot up shots. Very consistent and very reliable disc. Definitely enjoy this Ice Steady BL. And then other throwing putters a little more stable are the breakers. My Signature breaker from 2021 and a Proline breaker. This thing is super straight. I throw it for up shots mainly, and then I'll use this one for tee shots, for big hyzers over trees, or consistent hyzer shots that are gonna bounce right next to the basket and stay close. Great for upshot sidearm discs. It's easy to throw, easy to use. It's one of my favorite discs, and I'm riding a shark, so you can't beat it. Go to mid-ranges. I carry a Proline Quake for mainly just for sidearms, up to 320 feet. I do like to use it for big hyzer shots if I need it to be a very consistent up in the air and spike kind of hyzer with a mid-range. I usually only pull this out for sidearms though, but it's such a consistent, stable mid-range. It's hard to go wrong with a stable mid-range, especially one that's super consistent like this Quake. I do like to throw the Aftershock as well, the SP Aftershock. Just a reliable, straight to fade, mid-range, something you need in your bag for every situation. The Aftershock is probably the most underrated DGA disc that we have. So I would advise to try one because it's super sick. It's got a great feel in the hand, and the disc just does great wonders. So also throw 3 Riffs at the moment. I got a Proline Swirly Riff, a First Flight Riff, and the SP Riff. We'll talk about this one in a second. Flippier, it's kind of like a Buzz S kind of disc. So it gets that nice consistent turn as just going through the air. And this one's just a little bit straighter. It's got a little more meat to it. And then this has become my favorite weapon in my bag. Anything in the woods, anything 300 to 400 feet that's straight, I'm probably gonna pull out an SP Riff, put a little hyzer on it, watch it pop up the flat, and just go and go and go and go. If you like the Buzz, or you like the Buzz SS, the Rift is your disc, man, I'm telling you. Then a Squall, kind of the same thing as a Rift, it just goes a little further. It feels really good in the hand. It's an old school type disc that we've had for a long time. It's in between a fairway and a mid-range, so you can get a little more distance than a mid-range, but it's a lot more controllable, say, than a fairway driver. I throw this thing on piped shots down the fairways and the woods, and I watch it flip up the flat and just go straight. It's one thing you'll find about me is I like to hyzer flip. So I like the little things to be a little flippier than normal. Throwing on a hyzer, watch it flip up the flat and do its job. I'm gonna go to fairways next. I love the DGA fairway game. Mainly the pipelines. If you like a disc that goes super straight, and you like a disc that's very consistent, you like a disc that feels good in the hand, then you go with your pipeline on the fairways. I carry a Proline pipeline, carry a First Flight pipeline, and I carry a 2020 Matt Bell Signature pipeline. This one's mainly for rollers or big sky ante shots. I only use this if I'm in trouble or if I need like a big turnover roller or something. This is my go-to. I pipe this one down all the wooded shots, especially if I need something to flip up the flat and turn over slightly on the S and come back. I'm using my First Flight pipeline. And then if I need a little bit more stability, then I'll go with my new Proline pipeline. It's got a little bit more, we'll say, beef to it, I guess you would say. It's a little stiffer than, say, the First Flight, so it gets a little more fade. and it's really good disc for hyzer flippers. So pipelines are great. In the woods, pipelines are great for consistent up shots. I would advise getting one of these as well. I also throw a bonsai. Bonsais are mainly for all my island shots. I throw it on hyzer and watch the disc go 330 feet and stick next to the basket. That's what I use the bonsai for. That's the only thing I use the bonsai for. The Hellfire. Hellfire is like my utility disc. I throw this thing for thumbers. I throw it for sidearms. I throw it for forehand rollers. I throw it for big sky hyzers. I use this disc a lot in the woods. I use this disc a lot in the open. I use this disc a lot. Super good for sidearms, super consistent, and it's got a great feel in the hand as well. So Hellfire is a go-to, a wonderful disc, and yeah, if you like sidearm shots, this is your disc. And then the Proline Tsunami is kind of like a bonsai, a little more stable and very consistent. I dig this disc for, you know, hyzer shots or skip shots, things of that nature. So that's kind of my fairway game. It's kind of easy. Pipelines, bonsais, Hellfires. Now we're gonna go with my drivers. If you have a windy shot, say in Kansas, Oklahoma, Texas, and you need a disc to fight that wind, go with a Hypercane. Hypercane is one of the beefiest discs I've ever thrown in my life, and I only use this thing really in the wind or for distance sidearm shots if I have a lot of power that day on my sidearm. Hypercane is such a consistent disc. It's so mean, and it handles the wind better than any other disc I've probably thrown. The Rogue, SP Rogue. This is the closest thing that I have found to my cranks that I like. A little slower, but it does the same job. Hyzer flip to pop to flat to flip over to just do that big long S shot. It's a distance driver in a way, but it's so controllable that you can do whatever you really want with it. So it's good for sidearm hyzer flips as well. Just a great consistent disc in the woods, something you might need when you're out playing Auto Wild or Northwoods Black. I also throw 2 SP Torrents, 14 speed, super fast, gets to where it's going with a quickness. I have found that I love these so much that you'll see me throw them on coverage all the time. This is a disc that is just like perfect for me. It fit me so well. The blue one here is my flippier one, so if I want to get really big distance or I really want to get so far up the fairways, I'm throwing this. And if I want a little more consistency on my distance shots or tunnel shots down long fairways, I go with my my teal one here. They're kind of the same disc. This one just has a little bit more flip to it. This one's got a little bit more stability. I really enjoy the Torrents. Big rim, 14 speed. It's hard to throw, but man, once you get a move on them, they go for days. And then a staple in DGA, I think, and probably one of the best discs that's ever come out is a Hurricane. I throw 3 different kinds, in a way, I guess. So this is a first flight. This is probably mainly my go-to driver off the tee for hyzer shots, for straight shots, for pretty much any tee shot that I need. I'm going with the first flight Hurricane. My SP Hurricane here, this one is more straight, and I can put a move on it and get it to go in a straight line in like 300-400 feet. It just does a great job. And then this one is my more stable one, the Proline one. This one is for wind shots or big hyzer shots, skip shots, any kind of utility distance driver shot that I'm gonna use is going with this one. That's my bag. I got my upper part bag here, full of my DGA discs. I do want to thank Upper Part for the sweet Rebel. It's one of my, I use this bag on every single round, especially on the Pro Tour or in the big A tiers. I can carry a whole bunch of discs, and I can carry pretty much anything that I need for a round, like my rangefinder, my birdie bags, my towel, my pizza slice, my phone, my Arizona tees. I can put shoes in there. I can put a whole nother jacket in there if it gets too cold. And I got all the necessities you need for an everyday round of disc golf. The only thing that I think that people need the most is good times, good vibes, and lots of smiles, man. Thanks for checking my bag out. Thanks for hanging out with me, and we'll see you out there on the course.